Hello, and welcome to New Platinum Content. This is Dikuth's Band of Merry Men. Um, this week, we'll be jumping right into the action as our cameras are all being all weird right now, I guess, and I can't get them to show anybody for that matter. Interesting. What?
Oh, what just happened?
Yeah, something happened to the scene, so like one moment we're having even more technical difficulties.
What? Did something happen for everybody else?
The feed is gone.
Yeah, like the scene just kind of disappeared, I guess. So we're gonna just create a new one real quick. I don't know why this week it's deciding not to work. But what we'll do is we'll just do this.
I
And
mean, so
this.
far it's better than that one time when Roll 20 decided to, go into repairs. Yep, so just stretch the screen, Kyle, and you'll be good to go.
Yeah, it's just being laggy. There we go. Sorry, we're just gonna do my display for the moment because I don't know what's going on with the window capture. But there we go. As we left off, the party had gone into battle against what had been whispered as a Zalonin. Upon the battle, more thorn slingers joined into the fray with the giant corrupted tree, and the battle truly began. As the players were severely wounded and immediately brought low, more often than not underwater, as the tree tried to drown and drag them around. Overcoming this, though, they were able to actually drop the rest of the thorn slingers upon the death of the corrupted tree. Um, Unfortunately, as they discovered Chimalli had fallen in the battle, and upon Bjolf's attempt to revive him, um, Bjolf basically succumbed to some sort of divine feedback and immediately found himself exhausted and unable to bring Chamali back from wherever the lady had taken him. And we went over to the other two members of the group who had split off to go meet up with the leader, the Black Stag of these dog men that had been attacking Chamali's people. They decided to wait, and as they waited, the battle finished, and Jelenith began building some sort of altar, I believe. But upon moving the body of the Zalonin and chopping through the branches of it, you actually begin finding something. Hold on.
Oh, I was just building a pyre in the middle of the room where the tree was
Let me,
originally at, just so that way you can burn it.
here, let me open this. There we go. Yes. So upon like moving all the wood around and like, because it has basically exploded at this point, you do see. Sorry. There we go. There's like this weird stone like sack that has split open, and like moving one of the larger branches, you see that the 12 pieces of blue jasper have like fallen out of it, along with a long silvery rod.
Does this rod look similar to the rod that we've been playing around with? Or...
Sif looks over at
Not really.
Sif looks
Okay.
at Katra with his wand. Does it look kind of like that one?
Not really. It's kind of its own thing. It's a long, twisting silver branch, and at the end is a what looks like a graphite piece.
Does it seem magical?
I don't know. It could be.
Sif doesn't know. He's not giving it to you.
You don't have it, Sif.
No, I know. Sif looks to Jelnith. Don't give it to him. He held on to that one wand until we almost died.
What wand?
The wand he used to save the one he used with the magic missiles that came all the way from the forge.
I suppose I could have held on to it a little longer and let you perish.
Kyle,
Oh no,
what
it's
did
fine.
do?
You could have died. You would have died with us too.
Kyle, what happened?
Nothing.
Everything disappeared.
Layers.
Nothing.
Oh, you mean that one that we got from the dungeon with the dragon that we all forgot about.
Some forgot about.
Okay. No, I'm gonna hold on to
Yeah,
this
that
rod.
one.
Cause it's not a wand, it's a rod. And then 12 pieces of jasper?
Yep. You'd estimate they're around 10 gold pieces each.
I couldn't remember what jasper looked like, so I looked it up real quick. Now I remember.
It's fine. And as you're all taking in the the end of the battle and just building this pyre and everything, as you're all standing there, you all watch as Katra and Bjolf. The area suddenly, around everyone, goes dark, and it is a magical darkness as they are both lifted into the air, and in immediate vicinity around them, you see both of them kind of just being held aloft with spirits swirling around them as this just echoey whisper starts happening around the entirety of the temple, and Katra and Bjolf, go ahead and give me a perception check.
This would be a disadvantage, yeah.
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 Katra, you're at normal.
Oh!
Nice.
Nice.
Nice. About time.
Yeah, I know.
I see you passed your curse.
Fitting.
Katra, it's odd. When you summoned your hound of shadow magic, it felt like a large piece of you had been moved off of you and into the battle, as if part of you was fighting with and working with your own magic. And since it had fallen, it's been an interesting feeling as you've been regaining your basic, your energy back since summoning it. And as you're lifted into the air, you immediately are filled with that energy again and are just full of warmth and graciousness, and you just feel like you get the overwhelming sense that you are being welcomed here forever. Bjolf, as you're lifted into the air and these spirits are hovering around you, basically becoming this tempest and tornado around you of some sort of energy, you do see the face of Shar as she smiles warmly at you, as you see that she plucks something from each person inside this very room as she continues on down the hallway just this smile never leaving her face. And you see Chimalli, like, behind her the entire time, standing over her in, like, a guarded position as she just disappears off down into the tunnel. As you all back to the ground, and the darkness clears away.
What the hell was that?
Sif looks a little defensive for a moment, but it just upon not seeing anything around the room, just kind of rubs his head where it's got something plucked off.
Like that happened to everybody, right? Like everybody saw nothing.
Cool, we can stay here forever.
Yeah, you pretty much would have seen nothing. You would have seen like these ghostly spirits, like wrap around the area where Katra and Beowulf would have been, and that would have been it. And you would have heard just whispering constantly, unintelligible whispering.
So does anybody have any explanation for what just happened, or
We just took down a corrupted tree inside of a temple. I think we just got the reverb of its return.
Oh. But whatever it was felt great.
no, it didn't. Not one bit.
Sif goes back to gathering the pieces of wood up or around into the pyre.
All right, it takes you guys but a few minutes to gather all the pieces. You notice that as the tree kind of fallen, the water around it has just dissipated, and this area now seems like just a barren, like dying roots and all the rest of the garbage that it had seemed to have grown with its roots and tree shrubs, the vine throwers, whatever you want to call them. They were basically bushes, but it takes you guys a few moments. But yeah, you build a pyre and.
Can I, while we're building this pyre slash altar or whatever, can I take a look to see if I can find any potential seedlings?
Sure. Give me a nature or a survival check if you'd like.
I'll help out.
Sure. It doesn't really look like it. It seems like, in here at least, everything that was connected to the tree, after it had died, had seemed to just decay, and rot away.
Just want to make sure that doesn't leave any
right.
saplings around, so that we can grow another one. So, okay. I think that's all the wood. I think that's the entire tree here and all the little guys. What are we gonna do about Chimalli, guys?
I would like to. How heavy is Chimalli? Can I try to pick him up?
Yeah, you could probably pick him up. He's not extremely heavy.
Okay.
While you're kind of doing that, Sif is actually going to kind of look over to you, Beowulf, and ask, and in a kind of out loud manner, do you know how they were with pyres in their bodies?
He opens his mouth and starts talking, but it's not in common. He's very like, it's just like this garbled, echoey language, and he just panting, just and you see him like just pick up the body and like throw it over his shoulder, and I just kind of stand in the hallway looking like I'm ready to start walking out.
Sif kind of nods, looks over to Jellenith, and he's gonna draw his sword for a moment, and then kind of walk up to the middle of the pyre, kind of like standing up on it when Beowulf kind of gets out of the room and looks up and says, I only offer my bit of respect, even if I'm in the house of another. And Sif will go and stab the sword into the pyre just slightly, before kind of like taking his hand, held onto it, reaching just as into the essence of Tempest as he can, and just grab the slightest ember as I can, and just let it bead off from the tip of the sword in the pyre.
We haven't lit it
Attempt
yet.
to. That's what I'm attempting to do using the sword.
Oh. Katra, I advise getting on this side of the room before the fire gets going. It's gonna be pretty big, I hope. Steve's not here. We'll just grab Katra on the way out. Let's set it on fire.
All right.
Issues.
Oh, I'll also make sure to grab Beof's little dagger that he chucked and lit on and put light on. That way,
Oh,
just
thank
that way,
you.
Beof can keep doing this little technique over and over again.
Do you have the second use or?
No, I used the last second use. I'm literally attempting to pull anything else I can.
Nope.
Nope.
It will not light. Sorry.
No,
Get
you're
that
good.
shit out of my game.
Sif just kind of looks sad, and
Whoa.
will then pull it out and pull out a tinderbox.
Yeah, like a
Actually.
regular person.
Yep.
Wow.
You can hear slight mumblings from just like almost forgot that the sword went out the first time.
Sorry, y'all. He tried to just circumvent his rules to get a Dark Souls thing going, and I'm not allowing it.
Hey, I wasn't leaving it. That
Yeah,
would
let
be if
me-
I was making a bonfire. I'm not making a bonfire. It's a
Yeah, let me
pyre.
slow.
It's a God of War thing.
I slow clap.
Jesus.
Sif points at John and says, "I got you up. You forget about this."
Oh. Yep. You watch as he
Got it.
buries the sword in, and he does all what he said, and nothing seems to happen for a minute, 2 minutes. And you see him pull it out and like start looking for a tinderbox.
Katra will set it on fire.
As he's standing up, yeah.
But by the way, Bjolf, yeah, even though you're able to pick him up, like, you're probably not going to be able to walk with him. You realize, like, as you're leaning into the, like, doorway, barely being able to hold on, barely being able to walk yourself at the moment.
Okay, I put him down. Well, actually, I put him down. I cut off his head with sharp touch. I leave it there, and then I take the body and throw it on the pyre.
What the fuck?
I like.
All right.
Sif will definitely.
Well, all right. So,
It all
what-
just like.
Katra, what spell are you using to start the fire, or are you just
I was gonna do prestidigitation,
okay? So,
and then I would
Bonfire?
use control flames to make it as big as possible right away.
all right. So, Sif, as you're like searching for your tinderbox, you just see like a crackle of fire start in the center of this pyre, and you're like, oh, that's interesting, and then it's just whoosh right in front of you as it starts taking hold, and as Katra is using magic to make it go bigger, faster. So like you're kind of backing up, and you just see like a body flop next to you because Beowulf, you don't have the strength at the moment to even throw the body. So like you look up and you see like Beowulf is cut through the head and is like dragging himself through the doorway after having like flopped the body over towards the fire.
I go and grab Beowulf or not Beowulf. I'm sorry, the chimichanga.
I could have helped you carry the body.
He
Um,
no red. He just picks up the head and starts like walking down the hallway.
Before Sif just like tosses the body in,
Wait,
he's
where
just gonna
is?
kind of. Sif's gonna actually like sigh, pick up the body, cross the Chimalli's arms across his chest, and Sif's just gonna be like, "This is gonna suck," and steps into the pyre just enough to be able to lay him down respectfully, and then step out, accepting any amount of fire that Katra is increasing for a moment. Respectful to the dead, especially assistants.
Yeah, you just take 3 points of fire damage as you lay him down.
Yep. Thank you.
Burning through the metal, causing, more singeing and burning.
Burns so
but
good.
you all watch as Chimalli's body is soon engulfed, completely, in flames.
Katra would
Well-
turn. Oh, would lean over to Bjolf and be like, "Hey, would you keep that?
What'd he say?
What'd you keep the head for?"
He answers, but it's not in English.
Common.
Yeah, that's the one. Thank you.
Is that common?
Do you know Undercommon?
I don't think so.
And then you have no idea what Bjolf has just said to you.
Sif just kind of looks over at Katra.
No, my
and
response is that common? Like question mark.
And he just looks at you and he squints.
Someone says something, you're like, "Is that English?"
Yeah, he looks at you and he squints and he's like, I not.
Sif kind of starts to walk past and gets towards the door. No, you've been speaking some other language since you attempted with your friend.
I must
what?
be a little tired.
Yeah.
Oh, so what'd you say you head for then?
He's in a good place now, but I still have some questions I need to ask his spirit. I need this in order for him to speak to me.
And you notice like Katra's eyes grow. He's like, "Can I watch? Please, I'll be really quiet. You won't even know I'm there."
He takes a really, really long look at you, and then he kind of, you see this really weird smile just kind of spread across his face. He's like, yes, I think this could be educational for you to watch.
Awesome, thank you.
Whoa, there's 2 Bjolf now.
Welcome. And he puts the head in a...
Why is there a second Bjolf? Oh.
Guys, it's not me. Roll20 is just being weird as hell today, alright?
I saw there were 2 of me. I wasn't gonna say anything.
I'm listening to the conversation and I just watch a second one pop up, so I'm like just as confused.
Ghost in the shell.
When
Yes.
I'm gonna take 2 minutes because Sylvan takes forever to talk in. I will say a prayer in Sylvan to his goddess. I believe. What was the name? What was the name he used?
Shara.
Yeah, I was saying Sylvan a prayer along the way for Shara to watch over his spirit, and that may he come to rest amongst the lunar phase as the moon does, and all the weird stuff, whatnot. Just a little prayer.
Okay.
As she's talking, Bjolf joins along with her in Undercommon, except he says something to the effect of, "Thank you for giving him a place of honor alongside you, for he died a warrior's death." And then, yeah, that's it.
Alright, I think that's it. Tree's burning pretty good. Thank you for that, Katra.
It's while you guys are doing that, that's just kind of actually over at the edge of the stairway, and he's actually pulled out a little book in which he's scribbling into for the first time you guys have seen since the forge. Well,
You have a
actually,
book?
first time Bjolf's ever seen. Yeah, you missed that, Jonathan, because you were busy he running? Oh, because we were not talking to each other at the time. It's the same book I scribbled into after the dragon fight.
Really, guys, thank you for helping me with the tree.
It was a joined interest.
Well, shall we get going?
Sure, let's go see how those other two fuck shit up.
Hold the thought for a moment, you all. Bjolf, how are you holding up? You're no longer bleeding out the eyes.
Yo, if you got a little bit like here and here and like here and like
everywhere. Like it's just completely splattered all over his clothes. Both of his wrists have been opened. Oh, coffee almost went there. There's just like it's everywhere. He just kind of looks
down. Is holding her side where you just see like a giant chunk of her missing.
He reaches, he looks down at the blood. He's like, well, and he sort of takes it and he kind of like scrapes it off of himself. He puts it onto your wound and he casts a 2nd level cure wounds on you.
Oh, okay.
It looks real gross, but you do feel better.
Nice. That's 12.
Yeah. Wait, 8 plus 5? No. Well, that's 13.
13.
Is it? Yeah, it is. Math. I don't use math at work.
Math is important, kids.
Math is important. I do use math at work, but okay.
13.
And then he starts walking out, holding the head. Just kind of.
And like by walking, it's very much like a stumble.
I
Sif was. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I've got like one hand on the wall, and then one hand is just kind of like limply at my side, holding the head by the hair, just like shuffling down the hallway.
It's not a pretty sight.
No.
Sif's gonna watch this for a second, just kind of standing up the stairs, waiting until Bjolf kind of gets there, and is actually gonna take advantage of a moment where, like, when he's kind of stumbling, is just gonna kind of turn, step back in, and grab onto the arm and just kind of heft and kind of hold him on his shoulders and say, "Just allow me to help at least."
He starts to shy away from you immediately.
Hey, Tetra.
Sif will just put an arm over the shoulder, hold onto the wrist, and say, "Just until we get out."
He pushes it off.
Hey, Katra.
Weekly?
Can you bring the fire down real quick? Like, just bring it down.
I'd rather get out of here at full speed, Bjolf.
I'm
So let's
sorry,
get
I
out
couldn't
for
hear
once,
you.
Please. I couldn't help Chimalli. At least let me help you get out
Fine,
of
you
here.
can help me as long as you stop talking. And he puts his arm around you.
Sif embraces.
Katra, can you reduce the flame just a little bit? Real quick.
How much do you mean by a little bit? And
Like-
Catro like raise his hand and use control flames and like start lowering his hands in the flame at the same time until Jelnath like agrees.
That's good. And then I'm gonna quickly run over to the body of Chimalli and grab the key.
Oh!
No, he gave you a key, remember? He took it out the
Did he?
water thing.
Yeah.
He took it out from under the shell and handed you that key.
Oh, so then I don't need to get his key.
No.
Never mind then.
Sif called
We're
up where
good.
there was a key there a long time ago, by the way. I knew it.
Okay, we're good. Never mind.
Raise the fire back up.
Because I was like, oh no, are we gonna have to go through all the traps again? I forgot he has the key. Okay, let's get out of here.
As you approach this doorway,
Oh no!
what you see is kind of insane. As you're stepping through, you just start seeing rocks and rubble begin floating up into the air. Shadowy figures in like mists begin like crafting and replacing things on the wall, pushing stuff back to where it was before it perfectly melds back into its existence. You see this everywhere. This entire room is being like remodeled and reshaped at the very core.
Yes!
Oh my god.
Sif,
We all
as
see
soon as you Sif, as soon as you step into this room, it's not like damaging, it's very much like a taunt, but you soon start to be like shoved from the back, then shoved from the side, then your head's pushed, then you're shoved from the front again, then your knees kicked out from underneath you, and it just like is constant and is overriding like all your other senses. Jelenith, you also begin feeling this as soon as you enter this hallway. Or this room.
Sif remembers when he was 13 and joined the tribe and was treated the same exact way.
What do me and Katra feel, Kyle?
Nothing actually. You just feel very good. It's weird. It's hard to explain to you, Bjorf, because at the same time you're just completely exhausted and not really in the same state of mind. You do feel a warmth and it feels good, and that's all you really comes across to you, Bjorf. Katra, you are being peppered with questions and compliments and things saying, oh, you should come here more often, and oh, the lady has such an interest in you, and where have you been all this time? And like they just say things like this, like pat your shoulder and then immediately like go back to the rebuilding of this room.
Hey guys, I like it here. Can we stay here?
Jelenith is going to stumble onto one knee and like almost look like she's going to throw up.
Yeah.
Sif's
What's wrong with
gonna
Jelenith and Sif? Why are you like, jerking around like that?
Sif looks and stops for a moment, steals away as he kind of stops jerking for a second, just kind of holding against it for a second, goes to open his mouth, and then actually just kind of stops, glances right at Bjorf. His mouth kind of closes. He hefts at Bjorf's the upper part of Bjorf's belt or pants or whatnot, reheft and just kind of keep moving. This time now doing the best he can to steel himself against the shoves, the pushes, and just keep quiet and move forward.
Do I notice that Katra is standing still?
Katra, are you standing still or are you moving
I
forward?
mean, like, not being, like, buffeted around.
Oh, yeah.
Katra's definitely like trying to like interact with these shadow people.
It's hard though because as Sif, like every time Sif is buffeted, you're dragged around with him.
Can I try to push off Sif?
Yeah, easily enough. The next time that like Sif like gets hit by one of these strong buffets to the like face, you basically let go, and he has to like catch himself, otherwise fall over, and that allows you guys to free. And like it only takes you a couple minutes to cross the room, but that entire time, Jelenith and Sif, you both feel extremely bruised, and not very like you feel kind of sick to your stomach.
How's that hunger doing?
I don't
I
know.
say very quietly in Undercommon, they're not going to be able to help the people she likes get out of here if you keep buffeting them around like that.
They do not reply to you at all. They just you guys have made your way through the room now at this point.
All right, I do kind of like shuffle towards Katra and like I kind of awkwardly approach him from the side and like put out my hand on his, and I just kind of like heavily pop it on his shoulder.
Hi. Are you okay?
Not, no. Would you mind just at least giving me something to hold on to while we get the hell out of here? I am carrying a head, and it is not entirely pleasant to do so. I'd like to be at the surface if we can.
Of certainly. And you see Katra's face like light up, and he's like, "But wait, I thought Sif was helping you with that."
He looks over at Sif, who's just like
Still walking. Still
Yeah.
walking and has already lit a torch for himself.
Yeah.
At this point, if you guys are slowed down, Sif leaves you guys.
And Bjorf smiles at Katra, and he's like, I don't think that I have as much in common with Sif as I might have in common with you.
Okay. I,
Jennifer is slowly hugging the wall as she's walking. Like,
You guys
but-
are fine in the hallway. It doesn't seem to like they very much left the room that you just left. As soon as
my-
you got past the doorway, kind of. I mean, there's still some replacing the walls here and there, and you see them these just long shadow energies everywhere, but they don't seem to be buffeting you around in the hallway. Alright, as you guys continue onward, nothing seems. It just seems like an overall amount of energy is being poured into this very place around you. There's shadowy like energy pouring through walls, and it just appears in and out of areas, and your eyes are your. It's hard to trust your very eyes as you see like shadows for a minute or for a second, and then the next they're not there. And then we'll move on to the next one. I like how. Okay. There you are. It seems very quiet too. As you all reach the next level of the temple.
Are the shadow figures here?
Like I said, there's less shadow figures out here, as more as there's just like large like tendrils of like energy coursing through cracks of the wall that seems to be slowly repairing the giant crack in the wall. The rest of you catching up?
Yes. I'm just moving the token.
Alright.
Sif is staring at that uplifting of the floor that he found before, over by the blood stain.
Well, the as you're staring at it, you watch as it and the door or the wall becomes a door in front of it and slides open.
What?
This happens as you look at it, Sif.
Sif will kind of look up, look forward, turn, and then walk down towards where the fucking gold pile was.
Yeah.
Do I see anything similar down here?
As soon as you walk down here, you watch another door open here.
Sif, as he sees that one, stops, takes a step back, and turns around and just kind of has like, when he turns and looks at everybody, he has a look of interest, but at the same point, it's a look of absolute base carnal defensive. Like if he was a dog or a cat, his hair would be on end right now.
hey, what's going on? Why did everybody stop moving?
I don't know. I stopped moving because other people stopped moving. Well, I'm also supporting Bjolf, so I stopped moving because he stopped moving.
He'll kind of shake his head a little bit and start to head back and continue on this way. Still not saying anything.
What was that about?
As you turn your back and start walking away, Sif, you just hear like a pouting. I don't know what she's laughing at, but, like, it's a pouting that you hear, like someone, like, whimpering that you're leaving.
Mm-hmm.
What are the rest of you doing?
Did I hear those doors open?
You hear it, you hear it, and you can see them open. Beowulf, Katra, you
You hear the
also
popping?
you do not hear the pouting. Katra, right here, you see a door open, and further on down the hallway, you see a door open.
Beowulf, do you want to look in those doors? They
Sif will kind of
randomly open.
push. Sif will kind of push the door open again, as if to bash the door against the wall.
I don't want to do much of anything right now.
Do you want
If
to
you
stand
want-
here while I go look at the doors?
Sif will kind of look at Jelenith, point towards them, and point towards the hole, and basically kind of trying to make the motion of tell them to leave.
I was trying to leave, but then you went down the hallway.
I think you would have better luck looking in those doors than he would. But,
All right. But
But I still wouldn't expect something good to be in there.
Yeah.
and I take a
All right,
Oh. Oh.
it's a hallway.
All right.
Give me 2 seconds. So my second monitor, I forgot to update where we were.
Oh.
There we go. Do. So, you come to a doorway that opens away from you. It's another one of these well-made bronze doorways that has some art around the outside. It's mostly just stylized writing, it seems.
Oh, is it anything that I can understand?
Not to your knowledge, no. Doesn't seem like any language you know.
Like nice and I was gonna say, but I still feel weird.
I'm sorry, what?
I still get like a good happy feeling.
I wouldn't say you get any feeling. It just seems like a regular door.
All right, I'm gonna push it open.
All right.
Oh no. Oh no.
Just make sure I'm there. Sorry about that. All right.
And thus goes the last of us remember.
Correct.
And
Let's
thus
go open
ends
all
the
the
story
doors.
of Patra. I didn't open it. Open it for me.
In the temple of the assassin goddess. That seems like a great idea.
Look, the shadow people wanted me to be here. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, but the shadow people aren't telling you to go through that door, sweetheart. It's only reacting to Sif. Worship somebody else.
An amber haze drifts in this room, which is unoccupied. Strangely shaped and colored mirrors hang on the walls, and a large oblong stone basin stands in the middle of the floor. The basin is about 10 feet long, 5 feet wide, and 3 feet tall. It is filled with a steaming golden liquid. The red mirror on the eastern wall seems to be composed of fiery glass and framed in bronze. Light beams are broken by the mirror into myriad flames, and ghostly shapes seem to flicker in its depths. On the northern wall are 2 mirrors, a striking black one of obsidian framed in lacquered wood, and a stark white mirror with a wrought iron frame. The black mirror has a distinctive earthly odor and the blackness of subterranean caverns, but it seems of crude construction and reflects objects only when they are close to it. The white mirror has a pungent odor of nutmeg and spice, and its depths are gelid and smoky. The mirror that hangs on the western wall is in a stone frame and is blue in color. Reflections in this mirror ripple as if the viewer were looking into a pool of water.
Okay. This place is super weird. I'm going to pull out a dagger, and I'm gonna dip the handle into the golden liquid. Does anything happen to it?
Is the dagger non-magical?
It is.
Then it is immersed inside the liquid, and as you pull it out, it has appeared to turn into gold.
Ho 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 ho! So this must be the fool's gold that they were dipping all of that stuff in earlier, right? That Chimalli was talking about. So
You say to yourself as you
gonna
look
go.
over your shoulder
I
and
do say to
nobody's there.
myself. I'm gonna go over to the. I start walking towards like the white mirror,
Okay.
and then it.
The white mirror, it appears like your reflection, I apologize, is blurred by what looks like a fine mist.
But nothing else strange.
Well, as you look into it, give me a DC or a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh no. Some saving throws are always bad.
And Stiff's not there to buff it. I wish I was. I'm sorry.
Oof.
Oh no.
As you look into the white mirror, Katra, you just immediately your mind is hit by this like sharp net, and you just kind of just crumple into this like stunned position. You are stunned.
Great.
Do we hear the thumping?
What thumping?
Oh, he's just
That
stunned,
was
standing
that
over.
was psychic, yeah.
Oh,
And
I wasn't sure if he'd fall over from stunned.
you watch.
Told him not to go in there.
Oh, what's that?
How long has Kedra been gone now?
A good 2 minutes.
Wait, what happened? Do we not know?
No, we're not there. We're all out
I'm
here.
still all like.
Blood dripping on the floor.
The only sound is the blood dripping from Chimalli's severed neck onto the floor.
It's probably cleaning up, and mostly maybe we're just sleeping into the stone. Just
The elf is adding
Sure,
to the
sure.
blood stain.
The blood theme, you know. It's what I do.
Okay, well, so you
Oh
Kyle, you're
no!
the one.
Oh no!
Like, why is he giggling?
as
wait.
as you're stunned, you watch that the mirror was not a mirror. In fact, it was this giant jelly-like creature that seems to just fall forward through the opening of the mirror, and falls on top of you.
God.
I fucking told him not to go in there.
That's why I had a danger sense. I was like, this didn't open the entire time, and now it does?
It opens for you only.
Well, does a 9 hit you, Katra?
He's stunned, so it's the advantage.
Yeah.
And I believe Castor still has his mage armor on, which is 15.
Yeah.
So no. Okay.
Plus.
All right. Well, regardless, this jelly falls on top of you, and you take 5 points of damage as it just begins like surrounding and suffocating you. But it's like pseudopod misses, and you don't take any acid damage. But yeah, you're just kind of like starting to be enveloped by a jelly at the moment. What are the rest of you doing?
It's only been 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That's not that long.
No.
Sif is going to take a moment and just kind of open his hand out, close it into a fist, and then bring it to his chest and cast protection from good and evil on himself. And then I'm gonna go after Katra.
Alright.
Fun.
I thought we were getting out of this place.
So did I. Sif finally breaks his silence.
Told him not to go in there.
Well, Katra, as you round the corner, you watch as this giant jelly, some sort of organism, seems to be unfolding itself from Katra. And like you watch as it back into this mirror shape into the wall. And you just watch as it once again returns to this soft like mist look. And you see Katra like on the ground now, like
I'm just gonna kind of grab him by the robes and start dragging him out.
Wait, but I want to check the black mirror.
No. I just caught you in some kind of on top of, and Jelnith and Bjolf can hear him berating him for a moment. This giant jelly on top of you, drag. And now you're telling me, pull. You want to check, pull. Another mirror, pull. Throw it at Jelnith's feet.
You were mating with.
I was having sexy time.
You are having sexy time with a jelly. That is not sexy time. You are taking.
You don't know me.
And Sif's just gonna stop and not even insult a Dikuth like that.
Bill sort of like
You wouldn't go after a jelly.
Bill sort of leans away from the wall, looks down at Katra on the floor, and he's like, "So, what did you find in there?"
he definitely still has some like jelly like hanging off of him.
Liquid gold.
What kind of whimper was it?
By the way, as you like walk out of the like room, you see now that the dagger handle has like this gold colored water dripping off of it.
He holds up the dagger. And he says, "I found liquid gold."
Drip, 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 drip.
I don't think that's what you found.
Trust me, Katra. I can tell you from stories that your hand would be melded with that dagger if it was liquid right now.
What?
Container to carry it in?
No, I filled all my containers with that black explosive stuff. Or flammable stuff.
Well, then liquid gold right now is useless.
Sif just kind of sits there, stops, and then steps over Katra and kind of like kneels over and gets like kind of close. Like he's squatted over you, looking down at you, and says, "You have containers of this highly explosive, flammable liquid that you didn't think to use on the tree."
I mean, I miss a lot.
And then he points to Jelnith and says, "An arrow dipped in that, or coated in it."
All right, so we're gonna put a pause on that though. Daniel, or Dikuth, and Kovesh, do I have you here?
Yeah.
All right. So as you both are sitting there, having conversations or being mute for a while, as you have been, you feel this rumble deep in the earth. As you look up to see where it's coming from, and you just see giant parts or large parts of the temple begin like reforming its or its crumbled self, like, and you see these large shadowy tendrils start like peering out of parts of the temple from lower end to the upper, and you just watch as Zoltek sits and watches patiently, waiting, it seems.
Has Dikuth noticed Zoltek at this point?
Yeah, you, if you're looking for, like, the rumbles and stuff, you'll see a large cat now.
Is that normal? I don't do stone buildings.
I mean, I've been in some buildings before, and generally they don't rebuild themselves.
Didn't think so.
Well, maybe that means they're doing something right. I mean, we must. Looks like we caught Zoltek's attention.
But if buildings don't ordinarily build themselves, why would a building now rebuilding itself be a good thing? Doesn't that mean things aren't normal?
I mean, the building is fixing itself, maybe?
Hovash just looks at him for a minute.
Maybe we should ask Zoltek. And with that, Dikuth starts approaching Zoltek.
All right.
Hovash like and the Dikuth's already gone.
All right. So yeah, you guys. Well, Dikuth, you approach Zoltek. He's about like a 5-10 minute walk away from you at this point. He's just perched on top of a large 2-story building, staring up the hill at the top of the tower, just enjoying the sunlight as well.
And well before I get to him, like from probably a good 100 feet away, I make my presence known. I say, "Great Lord Zoltek." May I approach?
So you watch as his ears perk up at the name, and he looks down at you, and you see you see his head just nod slowly.
So I approach slowly, bowed forward, very low, creeping forward. And as I get forward, I kind of motion towards the temple, and I'm like, "Is that a good thing?"
The corruption has been cleansed. I believe so.
Good. Well, that means we did our job, I think.
I shall wait on the rest of your... Where are the rest of your friends?
They are actually in the temple. I assume slaying the corruption.
You're not helping them.
We have recently been informed of a threat on the island. Maybe you have heard of the threat?
There are many threats on this island. You'd have to be a little more specific.
I think he's like a stag person, like a deer man. Do you know of him?
Ah, the Black Stag. I've heard rumblings from other lords on the island of this upsetting the balance. I have yet to see him myself.
Well, we've heard rumblings as well. We're just out here to make sure things are safe and on the up and up.
Excellent.
We don't.
Is there anything else I can do for you?
Oh no, I was just figured someone such as yourself would know what was going on. I'm nowhere near as lordly as the Lord Zoltek.
Well, I am waiting on the rest of your friends, as you say, then to see what it is that they have found. As he looks down at himself. I am incapable of entering the temple myself. I don't even know what the corruption was.
I didn't personally see it, but I think it was a tree.
A tree, you say?
Right, like it's a really nasty tree. We dealt with a couple of them. Sometimes they make apples that turn other people into trees. They're really weird.
Interesting. Well, I hope your allies have stayed safe then.
You and me both. But I will let you get back to your sun basking here, my lord. And Dikuth backs away slowly in his bow, creeping backwards.
You just see him lower his head as he watches you go off.
Did not follow, for the record.
Go ahead.
A
Like,
few
nope.
minutes later, Dikuth returns.
Well, Kovash, I think the temple doing that thing means that our friends did what they were supposed to do.
Okay.
So maybe they'll be joining us soon. Maybe they won't. I also, Zoltek seems to have heard about your friend the stag. He says he's very unbalanced for the island.
What did you tell him about that for?
Oh, I mean, I figured like he's like the lord of the island, so I figured like he might know something about it. He didn't really give me. I mean, I didn't really want to press him because I feel like he could eat me, but you know, he seems to know about the guy.
I guess I had better do my job then, or he might be in danger? Question mark.
I mean, Zoltek didn't really seem too concerned with him at this point. Yeah, I think he was more concerned about the corruption. But yeah, Zoltek seems like a nice guy. But then Dicketh, seeing as in that we are still waiting here, he'll go sit back on his pile of rubble and begin tooting on his pan flute again.
Alright. And with that, we are going to take a quick break for those of us. Sorry again. We're going to get right back into it in like 10, 15 minutes, let's say. And I'm going to go get more to drink and use the restroom. And we will be right back. Thank you for everybody who's joined us so far. And we will see you in a little bit. All right, welcome back to Dikuth's Band of Merry Men. Last we left off, the party had made their way out of the temple, or were on their way to making their way out of the temple, and Dikuth and Kovash had continued their conversations as well as going off to talk to Zoltek. As you're talking about this, Kovash and Dikuth, you watch. You turn and watch as Zoltek, I just forgot his name in the mid sentence. You watch as Zoltek begins leaping up the side of the hill to the temple top. It takes him like a few bounds before he's almost all the way up there and like out of your sight.
Wow, that was pretty impressive, honestly.
I could do that.
Say that again.
I could do that.
I don't think you could, Kovash. But you said we're doing this thing at midnight,
Yeah.
and GM, can I gather what time of day it is?
For you, it's around late noon. You think it's like 2, maybe hitting 3?
Dickett looks up at the sun. It's like, we got plenty of time. What do you want to do, Kovash? You want to talk about our feelings?
I don't have feelings.
You don't tell me that, Kovash. I don't want to hear that. We're going to meet your friend in the middle of the jungle. That's feely.
I told you he's not my friend.
I mean, you're seeking this guy out in the middle of an island, in the
He
middle
was
of
an
nowhere.
ally, and that's being generous.
So, like, he's from, like, your old tribe or something, you said?
Yes.
Like, were you guys just, like, tribe members? Are you, like, related? Or, like, how does a tribe work? Are you, like, all family?
I collected my tribe from people I defeated in duels that I deemed worthy of continuing to live because I knew they would try and kill me and get stronger.
So was this guy, like, your slave? That's, like,
No,
you recruited people, or did you, like, enslave them?
I think it started as enslaving them,
Oh.
but over time, I think maybe they don't want to kill me as much now. I don't know. I'm kind of a dick.
And this guy was, at one point, your would-be slave friend individual person?
Sure.
Well, now I see why he likes to kill people.
Yes, I told you these people would make me look like a saint. Are saints a thing?
No, I feel like it made you look worse, Kovac. No, but okay. So, what is the purpose of meeting him? Like, you just want to stop him from killing us?
I would like to bring him to my side so that we can really take back our homeland from the person who took it from us.
Oh, that's quite an elaborate plan. Where is your homeland? You said that's up in the mountains?
North of the mountains.
North of the mountains. Okay. Well, I mean, what would you do when she took back your homeland? Is there anybody left up there?
Yes?
Oh, I thought everyone was like dead.
No, not to my knowledge.
Or is that like was that Sif's people? I can't remember who's died and who hasn't at this point.
Siv's people might have died because of the same man who took my homeland from me.
That makes sense. A little more sense, I guess. Huh. Dick is kind of pondering about this for a few minutes, and he just goes back to his flute.
All right. Oh,
Sorry.
Ticket, Do you mind not making a bunch of noise while we're here waiting for a meeting with someone who might want to kill us?
Dikuth toots quieter.
Alrighty. So yeah, as the time passes, the rest of the party makes their way to the temple top, and following the path that Chimalli had set, and using the keys when necessary, the rest of the party finds their way to the top of the temple, and as you make your way out of the secret door in the wall, you see that there is a large cat figure sitting at the front of the temple stairs.
Oh, hi.
1 second as I change maps again.
Oh boy, here we go. Changing the maps again.
While we're leaving, the entire temple is repairing itself, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm
These
still
temp-
leaving Tatra, right?
So these temple walls have fixed themselves.
Yeah,
for the
I'm
most
still
part?
bouncing with you.
They are in the process of, but yeah, for the most part, they're all becoming very stable, and a lot of the holes are being filled in, and the wall, the ceiling where most of this collapse had happened from all the rubble is now like not letting any light through, and it is a cooled off area inside this temple, and you see Zoltek. Let's see if I can find
Kitty.
And how are the B-boys?
the B-boys. They seem to be like ready and set and had all the equipment that they could fill onto the horse or the sled and get ready for the horse, and are now like, what the fuck is that? Like,
So they're not both confused and scared at the same time as
Oh.
this whole place started to rebuild itself?
oh, they were, but then a giant cat appeared out of nowhere and is like licking its chops and staring at them.
Ah, I see you guys
Very-
have met Zoltek.
Zoltek?
Yeah, remember that giant jaguar we were telling you about?
Oh, this is him. He's just kind of been staring at us.
Well, I imagine you look very tasty.
Don't say that.
I was just telling you probably how he feels.
You guys didn't get sliced by the bat, right?
No. The bat was destroyed, remember?
Mhm.
I can't
Oh, yeah,
change
yeah.
the map,
It
but
did
yeah,
get destroyed.
yeah, he's totally like
The wings are totally gone.
mollywomped it.
Shit.
Well, I don't know.
Well,
Is it
I
still
figured- I
destroyed?
figured the bat would have fixed itself.
Right.
Has it started
I
to piece
figured
itself
everything
back
had broken
together?
was fixing itself. So.
No, that hasn't fixed itself quite yet. I mean, like, only the outer walls have been like mostly, and the ceiling have been mostly fixed in this area.
Okay, so it's.
How about the
still
hole we made in
repairing
the
itself.
floor?
The hole you made is, like I said, it's not fully repaired yet.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna quickly pull my rope out of that. hole, 'cause
All
it's
right,
pretty open.
perfect. Yeah, you saw it starting to close around it, but yeah, you get your rope out. I don't have a good Jaguar mini, so
Lame.
yep, I am lame.
No, it's fine. Imagination.
I have a bunch of lizard men.
So I will approach Zoltek.
Alrighty.
Is he over there?
I believe he's in front of the temple. And seeing as this temple now has a roof, I don't think he can fit.
No.
underneath.
No, he's like
He
right.
can. You know what? That works.
Yes.
He's so tired. Oh.
Oh god. I don't know why, but it killed me when he like turned him to face. Like
What is that?
It's a
It's a
lion.
lion.
lion. It's like
It's like a top view
What
of
you
a
want?
lion.
Oh, it's sitting down. I see.
contemplate.
Remember.
Zoltek, why you all
There we go.
lying, bud?
There you go. I'm like,
I
he
love
doesn't seem quite big
Nope,
enough.
there we
Now
go.
he's big
And
enough.
agreed. And he just bows his head as you approach Jelaneth, and he says, in Maztecan, thank you. It seems that the very corruption that I needed destroyed is gone.
I bow to him, and then my Tikan.
Packers game is on.
Packers game.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
Said Zach.
I don't know what that was about, but yeah, that's Zach.
Zach is very excited.
Done.
But I bow to him, and I would say, Maztecan, greetings. Yes, Mr. Fluffer, sports ball.
Sports ball.
Sports ball. It's a ball, and you use it in sports, and you move it from one place to another place. Sports ball. So I bow, and I say, Maztecan, greetings, oh great one. We have removed the corruption that has been plaguing this temple. Just small question: is this supposed to happen as I point to the entire temple rebuilding itself?
Yes, I believe Shara is reclaiming her land.
Ah, okay. Well, we have completed our end of the agreement.
Then you have safe passage amongst my land, and you may take whatever it is you see fit.
Thank you. We did, however, lose one person in the temple, but I don't know if that's something you can deal with. I guess Shara will have Shara.
Shara.
Chara.
Shara.
Shara. Okay. Well, I guess that's something Shara will take care of since he was a follower of her.
And you see him close his eyes, and he like thinks for a minute, or seems to be thinking for a minute. He bows his head again, and he says, Chimalli has been called to her side. He now serves as one of her champions.
Oh, that's good to know. I'll let them know that he's actually there with her, not some other place.
She says he's experienced too much death, pain, destruction in this life. He deserves better.
Is he still speaking Maztecan? Okay.
He does. Well, I don't know what's left for us here. Well, I guess there's the whole stag situation, but I don't know if you can get involved with that at all.
And he looks over the rest of you, and you see him like get bigger and like not grow in size, but his chest puffs out, and he takes a deep breath, and he says, in common to you all, I appreciate what you all have done here. I do greatly. I will look into this black stag, as I have heard from multiple sources now. Feel free to roam amongst the land as you see fit. My subjects will let you pass.
Sif actually silently pipes up and just kind of Lord Zoltek, if I may, but give one bit of offering towards this stag. I watched the Black Hand of Bane, and I believe he is more or less the source. I do not know relations, but if it is not of the good kind, now you know.
You do see the, like, at the mention of Bane, you see the hair just prick up on his hackles, just all along his back. And you see him shake it out. Understood. Is there anything else that I can do for you travelers? And he looks kind of down to you, Jelenith, squinting hard at you.
I can hear him at this point, can't I?
Mm-hmm.
I sort of call out to him in Undercommon. Chimalli mentioned some kind of high priestess or princess. Either way, there was a woman of great importance to him. If you know where to find her, could you tell me where she is?
I was about to ask that. Yes.
He moves his eyes from Jelenith, staring past everyone, to fall on you. The queen yet lives. Find her in the heart of the Black Stag's camp.
The queen.
The heart of the Black Stag's camp.
That is what Shara tells me.
Thank you.
Are you? All I understood out of that was queen lives, and maybe camp. But definitely queen, definitely lives, because those were an uncommon, or can actually relate back to primordial. I think.
Kind of. I look down at the head, and I look at at Zoltek, and I say, "Do you know what she looks like, or what her name is?" A way to contact her, but I need a little bit more information, and I would prefer to give Chimalli his rest and not wake his spirit again.
Could you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Oh, did you hear none of it?
I heard part of it.
Basically, I asked for a physical description of the queen and what her name is, because I have a way to contact her, and I was gonna ask Chimalli, but if I can just leave him alone to hang out with Shar, I'd prefer to do that.
I'm pretty sure Chimalli did give you her name.
Yeah? Okay.
Double check.
The physical description is what I'm really looking for.
Her name is Metzli, the Princess of the Night, leader of the Green Folks.
Yep.
Okay. Can I get a spelling of that?
So he would probably
I'll put in chat.
repeat that.
Okay.
And then he would say that she is. She is a younger woman in her mid to late 20-30s. Long dark hair, unblemished skin that is around the same coloring of Chimalli's. She wears a crown. The crown is gifted jaguar bones. There's not much else I can give you.
That's all that I needed. Thank you.
Are you able to assist at all in potentially saving this queen, this princess?
And you see an odd smile curl on the lips of this cat. It's an interesting sight on this giant cat as he says, I could help in some ways.
Ooh.
But as to which ways and when, I do not know yet. The laws of the cosmos still apply to me.
I was afraid you'd say that. Yep. I looked at everyone else in the group here and said, so So this princess is still alive. As far as I'm aware, she is the last of these green folks.
She's in the middle of the Black Stag's camp.
Do we go and save her?
Don't care if the rest of you come with me, but I know that I'm going.
Well, I mean, can we talk about what we know about the Black Stag? Like, technically, he is associated with Kovash, and Kovash is not really a nice person. So I'm gonna assume that he's not a nice person either, and that he probably doesn't have nice plans for her either. So we probably should save her.
I don't think he has nice plans for this country. Is that what this is?
I
It's a nice.
wouldn't exactly be a great fighter if I was just going to let one of my comrades go in half exhausted to death. I don't care for what reason. I'll go.
So we're in agreement. We're gonna go save this princess.
But we have a question to ask now.
Which is?
And Sif's will kind of turn and kind of look to everyone and say, before he asked, well, actually, straight up explained to everyone that he planned to go onto this meeting. Well, you can ask Dikuth when you see him again. But he openly brought up to me, while Dikuth was listening, that he needed to get away to get to this meeting before he even just openly told everyone. Before I could get confirmation from him, well, that's when you returned, Katja. And Sif's just gonna kind of like flutter his fingers a little bit as like kind of like a couple beams of sparkles just kind of linger a little bit. I intended to ask him truthfully what it was, and he seemed very adamant on even beginning. So,
Leon,
so
what
is on the truth of his intentions?
Oh. Catra will look at Zoltar, and he will ask, so is his camp the one that was on massive fire the other night?
I do not believe it was on fire. I believe it was a celebratory fire.
But that is camp.
I'd assume so. I don't travel that far north.
Hmm.
It's
Okay.
around where the old um it's around where the old Nexalaeans lived.
Excellent.
Yes.
Good to know. Anything that we should know about them?
They're leaner, taller than the green folk. Uh, they're more warlike than the green folk.
So, and Katra will turn back to the group, and he was like, so are we doubting Kovash's intentions here with this stag? Should we be worried?
I more so believe that his intentions are to reform his tribe and go after Vortigern. I do trust that.
Yeah,
Go after
but-
who? Vortigern?
The Black Hand of Bane has a champion, much like I am, and I can only assume that Vortigern, the one who sits atop my old throne, is that.
So, pause. You said Kovac was this barbarian thing, right? Aren't they very, like, murderous? Like, couldn't his tribe be a very bad collection of people?
They probably are a bad collection of people, the worst of the worst, if I might think so. if an untamed beast like him was the leader.
And for the first moment, like you see like the glass shatter behind Kasha's mind where he's like, I don't think we might be on the good side of this fight.
Either way, Beowulf and I are gonna go save a princess.
I volunteered on coming.
I said I was going to help, but I mean, if you're discluding me, then I guess
Also-
I'll force
No,
myself to
no, I'm
come.
not discluding you. You guys.
No,
seem to
he
have-
says with a smile.
You guys seem to have this whole northern tribe thing going on. I don't care for the black stag. And I don't think
I
Beowulf
care
cares for
not.
the black stag either.
You should probably care in that we're going to his camp and he might try to kill us.
Allow me
You'll
to
just
put
kill him.
this. Allow me to put this in a variation, so that you might know my intentions and/or my beliefs on the plot. The northern tribes are just that. We all we all went through strife and strugglings. That's why when we look upon one another, we can see, well, some of us can see just that. That we've lived and we've struggled, and we were not given a silver spoon upon our mouths.
That aside,
I sat with him. Sorry, I should sit down for this. I sat with him for a decent time in the jails. We barely spoke. I have been struck at him more than once, and yet I still walk with him as comrade. Because as a very wise being once told me and reminded me, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
but still my enemy is the end of that saying.
Well, you should always keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
So you want us to befriend the black stag?
What I say is, what I basically am trying to say is, when it comes to Kovash and the Black Stag, I'm not on either side. I don't hail to this Northern Brotherhood and say that we need him. I think it's more of a liability than not.
So on a more important note, do any of you know where this camp is? Because I do. Haha!
Well,
Aren't you guys glad? See, when I go off on my own solo adventures, I come back with useful information. What is
I'm glad-
Kovash talking?
like how to have sex with a jelly?
I mean, yes, and the location of the stags, whatever. Are you guys?
kind of turns away and puts down.
I turn back to Zoltek and ask him, "Are you able to guide us or send us some kind of guidance towards the Black Stag's camp?"
You are all an interesting selection of people.
Sif stops and looks around and says, "Wait, how long has it been? When did Kovash say they were supposed to have that meeting?"
In the afternoon? Like it was like some hours from now.
Well,
It's only been like 2 hours since we went down.
are they supposed to be meeting at the camp?
No,
Yes.
meeting at the bottom of the hill.
Oh, that one.
Well,
You're saying we should
maybe
sneak
we
into the
do.
camp while they're meeting them and take the princess?
And Sif just kind of smiles at Katra and says, "You actually took the exact words out of my mouth." And he kind of looks at Jalanith and Katra for a moment.
Tactically, it's the best option and move. However, if he was smart, he wouldn't take all of his people with him.
That's, of course he wouldn't. But that's the thing we keep in mind, is that there's less people.
Yes, but I'm also fucking tired.
I am a little tired too, and while I might not be the most quiet, I can perhaps make a distraction.
Oh, I guess I'm not actually that tired.
I look over at Beowulf, who is completely.
Yeah, I was about to say, cut to Bjork, just like bleeding from multiple wounds and like leaning up against Katra, holding a severed head.
I'm also not saying that we should continue and like blah 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 because other people are fucking tired. But like, We
don't
gotta play it
believe.
smart.
Yes, and that's why I'm trying to think of the smartest route to go because, as it stands, I don't know how well Bjorf will be able to handle in a fight. As much as I can see that you are pushing for this, Bjorf, as he kind of looks at him leading and all such, and he's just gonna like shake his head and reach over, not even care if he slaps the hand away, he grabs on the part that's slapping the hand, and he's gonna pump 10 points of lay on hands into Bjorf.
Doesn't fix a problem, but thank you.
And we'll pump the last, or and well, how does everyone else look for a moment?
So hang
I
on.
don't look health wise, not that low.
You're definitely
Yeah.
now your wounds are closed now though.
I mean, I still have 3 exhaustion points, but
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
uh,
All right.
So your
I'll
plan is
I'll
to.
spend
Sorry.
five to five more to finish closing the wound on Jelinus, and the last 5 on me to top me off a little bit because this might be dangerous.
Okay. So
So your plan is to ambush the stag at this meeting tonight.
No.
no.
My plan is to, while the meeting is going on, sneak into the camp and rescue the princess right from under their
Right.
nose.
So we still need to figure out how to get to the camp.
I know how to get to the camp.
No, you know how to fly to the camp.
I
You don't know
can.
how to navigate through the woods to the camp.
I
I
can
mean,
carry at least 2 of you if he were to allow me to fly. And he could fly himself.
it doesn't work that way.
Well, shit.
Not yet. What?
That is, they'll all look at Zoltek.
Ah, shit. Don't stand in front of it. Actually, stand right behind Katra if you can.
at this point, I kind of stagger over towards the BB boys.
B-boys.
He just kind of shakes his head and just kind of like holds up Chimalli's head, shakes his head again, and then just like kind of wanders off to a corner that doesn't seem like it's being.
Stiff will kind of call out to Beowulf and say, if you want, and it's not too problematic, I can carry off something off the horse, and you can ride the horse for now.
He's not.
Lay your head down.
He's not listening to you.
I will turn back around to Zoltek and Maztikan. Ask, you have eyes everywhere on this island, correct? So you would know where we landed on our boat? Is there any chance you could send, or you could send one of your followers along with the 2? Are they both humans? Yes. With the 2 humans there back to the boat while we go off to save this princess? Is there any chance that you can assist with one of your followers to lead us towards the camp of this black stag?
What do you mean? JK.
I don't want to see another culture go extinct. I'm the last of my people from wherever I'm from. And as far as I'm aware, Chimalli and I guess the princess are the last of their people. And with Chimalli being gone, that leaves just the princess. And I don't want to see another culture disappear from this world, from any world. I think every culture is precious, no matter how wrong or amazing they are. Every culture has a impact, and I think every culture should be learned from, and should be studied or at least aware of. And I don't want to see another culture go away. So I want to save this culture, especially after what Chamali has done for us. A boon.
Mm.
This is a great gift. I think that's fine. I have the knowledge of my people, of my culture, and I think this boon would instill me with the knowledge of this culture of the Twilight, of the Green folks. And so as long as I'm alive, I will have this connection, this culture will exist, and I can teach it and spread it or record it. So yes, I will accept your boon. I will accept your son. Hello. I'm guessing. So I look at the Black Panther. I kneel down. I get onto one knee and I kind of put my hand out in a like a kind of like this kind of format, just waiting for it to approach. Does your son have a name, Zoltek?
Each one.
So I ask the jaguar or the panther in front of me. How does the name Chimalli feel?
Yes, I was literally.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Well, Chimalli, let's go and save the last person of this tribe. I turn back to Zoltek. I bow deeply and say, "Thank you for this gift, for this boon. These two humans still need to be guided back to the boat." Thank you. I turn back to the group and say, "Well, I got us a guide. Let's go and save a princess." I think things are going to be a little bit different now, but you know, I think it'll be for the better. Booker, Bromley, Zoltek here is gonna send you guys a guide to get you back to the boat. You have safe passage while you're in his territory, which is most of where we've been so far. So you should be safe. Stay with his guide. He'll get you guys back to the boat. Let the captain know that we're alive. We're gonna go and save a princess, and we'll be back.
Kitty.
All right, guys. What do you say we get down to Kovash and Dikuth?
Were we going to them, or were we going to sneak into the camp first? I doubt we want to risk speaking with Kovash and Dikuth. For all we know, they're possibly or probably being watched while they wait for the meeting.
The camp is a little bit farther away than you think it is.
I quickly look at the jaguar, or my little. I look at Chimalli. How far is the camp from this location? That's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
This one likes.
Yeah,
We'll get a
okay.
token.
Okay,
Don't worry, we'll get a
okay.
token for it.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was
Oh, and
a
take
little bit like
baby star in the line.
It's a shadow kitty. It's a shadow kitty.
These tokens need backgrounds. We'll make a token. Don't worry.
looks less like a doggy than the first one.
Oof.
He says it takes about 3 days to get there, and apparently Black Stag is supposed to be meeting Kovash and them tonight, which means they will also need to take an additional 2.5 days to get back to their camp.
Surprise.
We have to worry about running into them on our way back.
If
You
we
don't
did
let
that,
me
yes.
sleep? Then yes.
Yeah, if we don't sleep, we can make it there before them, but I recommend sleeping because I feel
Not
tired.
moving
Only-
very quickly at the moment, so
Yes, we can tell. Goodbye, BB boys. We shall see you at the ship.
Mhm.
Are we officially just calling them B-boys out loud now?
Yeah.
Yep. The
Oh,
BB boys.
love it.
B-boys.
Love it.
Well, with that stone thrown in, I'm not sure.
Because here's the thing: if we just head off to that camp, that leaves Dikuth
Yep.
and Kovash literally fending for themselves while we try to save a princess.
I
Exactly.
wasn't half expecting the camp to be that far away. I was thinking
Pause.
like a day.
But that was they were planning to fend for themselves from the get-go, though.
Yeah, and then
They
come
have the
back.
flute.
Weren't we
Or-
supposed? Weren't we supposed to meet up with them when we were done?
True.
So really, we should just wait for them to be done with their meeting, and then we can figure out what we're going to do.
But
Yeah.
then we'll miss a prime opportunity.
It's not a prime opportunity when there's only 4 of us, and one of us is not going to do very well if we get into any sort of conflict.
Today, we could sleep and be okay for tomorrow, which we wouldn't make it into the camp for 3 days. I think we should go for it.
And we'd still be 2 people down when we could have a full party of 6.
And fight a full army of how
We're
many?
not going to fight the whole army. Going in and grabbing her does not necessarily mean fighting everyone in the camp.
That's true, but you have to assume that to run in and grab someone, you have to be stealthy, which we know members of this party are not. And also, I'm pretty certain they're not gonna just let us waltz in and like grab her and fly out.
Oh, I'm expecting a fight, but
S-
if we can,
Expecting
Why?
a fight also, but I would rather not have to fight the stallion and whatever friends he's taken with him to this meeting.
That's why making a plan of some kind would come into play.
That's what we were doing now.
well, shall we make our way to Dikuth and Kovash then at least?
Didn't they want to be alone for this meeting of theirs?
They did.
Oh, okay.
I.
Well, this temple is still rebuilding itself, and I don't know what's gonna move around and be lifted. And so I don't want to be here in case that rock accidentally like moves up and hits me in the head or like lifts me off the ground. Uh, so I recommend we don't stay inside this temple for the time being.
To
Uh,
them in case they come forward.
hmm. Is it just the temple that's looked like it's getting repaired, or does part of the village also look like it's being? Oh, we can't see because it's 6 hours away. Looks like the. Does that look better?
Yes. It's hard to say, but I think so.
Huh. I don't know what we did, but
We
cool.
made a new base for ourselves. I think we should. So I think we should set off. Take the first night's rest. Take the second night's rest. Travel all night the third night.
We're just going to leave Dikuth and Kovash, yeah.
Again, they were trying to fend for themselves. We could leave them a message. And then they could come up behind what you call it. They could come up behind the stag or the stallion or whatever and support us in case we run into them.
Sif kind of glances off to Jonathan and says, "Ooh, does Chimalli?" Sif kind of looks over towards the cat. Is it capable of speaking to others?
I don't know. That's a good question. Why don't you try talking to him?
Well, I mean, I could also fly to find them and then tell them and then fly to catch up with you guys.
And Sif just kind of stops and thinks, well, the thing is, Katra, as quiet as I think as you can be, you might get spotted out in the sky. I'm trying to think of any way that we might be able to get a message to them quietly without
I
anyone
mean,
possibly knowing.
I have a way.
we know where they are. They're at the
Otherwise,
bottom
I
of the
was,
hill.
otherwise, I was
I
gonna
have a way
say,
that I could send them a message. Takes a lot of energy, but I can get it done. We just go into the forest now. I'm going to fall over, and if we are going to travel more tonight, let's get it over with.
On the road again.
Sif will just trail behind slightly, and as he's kind of stepping off, when everyone's kind of walking away, he's just gonna stop, take a dagger out, think back for a moment, and kind of open a cut on his hand before he's just gonna kind of reach back, squeeze, leave it just a little tiny bit, and say quietly, "Thanks for safe passage through the temple," and follow after the group.
That's not creepy at all.
Underground again.
With when Dikuth starts realizing it's getting closer and closer to midnight, he starts getting a little apprehensive. Um, he actually, um, he has his bow, close enough that he can reach it at any moment, but he's kind of like, scanning the tree lines and just making sure no one's out there.
Dikuth, before I go out there, do you trust me?
As far as what do you mean?
I need you to stay out of sight no matter what happens.
What do we think is gonna happen?
I honestly don't know. This could go a million ways, but I don't think him feeling ambushed with me bringing someone else is something that would make any of those waves more favorable.
I mean, I feel like he would feel more ambushed by me hiding out here than he would feel by me just walking up with you.
I guess it's up to you with your life.
I'd hate to leave you out there on your own, but I will stay in the shadows.
Thank you. And then Kovash is gonna make his way out to like under the roof of whatever building he had been in that he saw Black Year from before. I believe it was a different building than the one we ended up hiding in.
Yeah, we moved.
If possible, I would like to, like along the wall of that building in the like shadows of its like roof eaves. He's a medium. What are you wearing?
Half plate.
Yes.
Are you medium armor master?
Oh.
Damn.
We lost you for a second there. Oh, I was gonna say, do I recognize him? When they're about 40 feet or so from me, I step out. I ignore him and look at Stag, and I'm like, "What's the matter? Think you're too good to talk to me now?"
Oh, you're gonna die.
Did he do the same to the others? I'm going after him. Come with me. This isn't your home.
No.
The others didn't leave him, did they? So then why are you here? Why meet me? You end up here for me. You were searching for me. How the hell did you end up here? So you didn't really answer me. Why set up this meeting? I'm not joining the empire I built. I was hated long before he showed up.
No.
And if I say no, funny, Vortigern never inspired much fear himself. He's supposed to frighten me. No interest if you want to waste your time on some backwoods island in the middle of nowhere. The trees are you then. So you brought the tree here. Kovash laughs. In case you haven't noticed, she's stronger than ever. I guess we'll just have to see. Future's difficult to see, you know. And you know, it's fragile and I've been known to break things near me. It's funny though. You tell me to join the Empire in the North, but you know nothing of our kind.
Oh.
Well, I'm standing right here, so if you want me to follow you, there's only one way to do it. Tell him I'm coming for what I gave him.
My mouse.
Hang on. Nope, nothing I can do.
Why do you have this?
I lost my dungeon.
Why do you have?
Nothing. Daniel was asking me a question. Yeah, I just stand here watching them leave. I know that name.
Oh, Mom.
So time to let the beast loose in his camp, right?
Yeah. I can't send messages until tomorrow. Can't send messages until tomorrow. I didn't have. Yeah.
It depends.
Yeah, I think I was possibly gonna do D2.
We're going to try.
Yeah. Anyone who wants to join me can, obviously.
Eh,
Bye.
Have a good night.
I have a beautiful time.